Okay, imagine this for a second. You're living a quiet life, seemingly retired, beautiful Italian villa, you've got a Porsche, but you're totally off the grid. No taxes paid, no official income. Then, out of the blue, two strangers show up at your door. They say they're from, like, a major intelligence agency, and they know everything. Everything about your past, the hidden money. And they're not asking nicely.
Yeah, they're making a demand. And that's the setup for our deep dive today. We're using this incredible investigative story really as source material to unpack some bigger truths.
Absolutely. Truths about information, power, secrets, how people behave under pressure. It's all in there. We're following Erwin Maurice Fletch, everyone calls him Fletch, as he navigates this landscape of, well, blackmail, murder, media games, armed with basically just his wits and this knack he has for finding things out.
And what's so great about using this as our source is how it really just plunges you into this world where information isn't just power, like we always say, it's actively used as a weapon.
Right.
We get to see how secrets are leveraged, how perceptions are managed, how even these really established, powerful people have these weak spots just waiting.
Yeah, waiting to be exposed.
Yeah.
It's a master class in the information game, like you said.
Totally.
Okay, so let's unpack that opening scene. We're dropped right into Fletch's villa in Italy. These two guys, Gordon Eggers and Richard Fabens, they show up, introduce themselves. CIA, they claim.
Right, the CIA.
And Fletch, he's quick, tries to give them a fake name, Freddie Arbuthnot, but they're not having it.
No, they shut that down immediately, and this is where that leverage comes in. They lay it all out. His hidden money, over $2 million, possibly $3 million, maybe more, they say, and crucially, no legal explanation for it.
Yeah, they hit him with the tax stuff, never filed a return, paid almost zero federal taxes.
Exactly. And they don't just mention it, they claim they have extradition papers, Italian handcuffs, basically we gotcha.
You're trapped.
The message is crystal clear. That private financial data, even just the suspicion of it, becomes this incredibly powerful coercive tool right away.
And then comes the demand, which is just wild. They want him at this journalism convention, the AJA, American Journalism Alliance, in Virginia.
Starting tomorrow, pack your bags now.
Right. His mission, go to a specific locker at a Washington airport, pick up a suitcase full of bugging gear, and plant listening devices to record, and this is the quote, the most private bedroom conversations of the most important people in American journalism.
And the main target.
Walter March, big-time publisher, guy Fletch used to work for.
Wow. So the connection is personal, too.
Yeah. So Fletch being Fletch, he doesn't just roll over. He makes a call. An old college roommate, Don Gibbs, supposedly in American intelligence, tries to check if this whole CIA thing is legit.
And what does Gibbs say?
Gibbs basically tells him, you have to do this. And he kind of hints, that Fletch has always bugged the entire American press establishment anyway, which is quite the statement.
It really is. It makes you pause, doesn't it? Is Fletch actually being forced here? Or is this just, the perfect excuse for him to do what he does best?
Right. Is it coercion or opportunity?
That conversation with Gibbs, and then later with Gibbs's boss, Englehart, it sort of reinforces this idea that Fletch is already known for. Well, let's call them unorthodox methods.
Definitely unorthodox.
So maybe they picked him because he's known for bending the rules, not despite it. He's the perfect guy for a dirty job like this.
Could be. So anyway, Fletch gets on the plane, and on the flight, he bumps into this woman, Frederica Arbuthnot. Freddie, crime reporter for Newsworld.
Wait, Arbuthnot, the fake name he tried to use.
Exactly. He jokes around, proposes marriage. Apparently that's a thing he does. And she kind of surprisingly just plays along and accepts.
Okay, that's Fletch.
So they land, head to the convention at this place, the Hendricks Plantation, and they walk right into major news.
Don't tell me.
Walter March, the guy Fletch was sent to bug, he's been murdered that morning, stabbed with scissors.
Oh, wow. Okay. So the primary target is gone. Just like that.
How about it?
That completely flips the script, doesn't it? It's not just a spy mission anymore.
Nope.
Now it's a murder investigation that he's walked right into the middle of. He's got to adapt fast. The hostess there, Helena Williams, apparently described finding the body, or rather March's wife, Lydia, finding it. Mentioned gurgling sounds, the scissors sticking up from his back. Grim stuff.
Really grim. So Fletch gets to his hotel room, which, by the way, is right next door to Freddie's.
Oh.
Convenient.
Uh-huh.
He opens the suitcase from the locker, tape recorder, tons of tape, like 72 hours worth, and 24 of these little magnetic bugs.
And what's the first thing he does?
He records a message for his handlers, the CIA guys, tells them March is dead,
Mm.
asks if maybe, just maybe, this is connected to their sudden interest in him.
Good question.
And he calls them special stupid.
Okay, that sounds like Fletch, but recording them immediately, that's smart. He's creating a record, documenting his side, his suspicions. It's almost like a journalistic reflex, right? Protect yourself with the facts, create a paper trail, or in this case, a tape trail.
Yeah, self-preservation 101 for him. And he figures out the tech pretty quick, too. Realizes the bugs have this hierarchy based on number.
Ah, so lower numbers take priority.
Exactly. Any noise in any room in which he had placed a lower-numbered bug had precedence. And he realizes, almost instinctively, he put the lower numbers in the rooms of the people he thought were more important.
So even his bug placement was strategic, maybe subconsciously. He's already sorting the key players.
Seems like it. And he needs more intel, obviously. So he kind of sweet-talks the hotel switchboard operator, gets a full guest list, room numbers included.
Of course he does. Social engineering.
Then he just starts planting the bugs, systematically, room by room. There's even this weird detail where he rescues a very drunk reporter, Leona Hatch. Yeah, helps her back to her room, leaves her in her last level of underclothes, loosened, thought. But maybe gets him access or something.
It's Fletch. There's probably a reason, even if it's bizarre. But we also see how his past plays into this, right? He calls an old colleague.
Right, Crystal Fione,
Right.
journalist, describes herself as blessedly, basically heavy. She got fired by March's paper
Why?
for getting pregnant and not being, quote, contrite enough about it.
Ouch. Another motive, maybe. Or just context on Mark.
Context, mostly. But she tells this story about Fletch's past, a real doozy, about how Fletch dealt with some pimp in Chicago named Upsy.
Oh, what did he do?
According to Crystal, Fletch drugged him, tied him up naked, at church, with a wire around his, well, genitals,
Nah.
connected to the main door.
No.
Yeah, so when the doors open for morning service, public humiliation on a grand scale.
Okay, wow. That definitely qualifies as unorthodox methods. Paints
Yeah.
a picture of someone willing to go to pretty extreme lengths.
You could say that. So Fletch is gathering info everywhere. He even tries getting a massage.
For relaxation or information.
Probably both knowing him. The masseuse, Mrs. Leary, she tells him other reporters were asking about March, too. But more importantly, she mentions two suspicious guys.
Ah, potential leads.
Yeah. One was some angry reporter from up north who apparently swore at March. And the other guy, she describes him as a horse person.
A horse person.
Yeah, tight, curly gray hair, bloodshot eyes. Said he was frightening and was asking about March out in the parking lot just before the murder.
Okay, that's definitely something. A frightening horse person. Got it.
So March's murder happens, and boom. Suddenly everyone's a suspect. Everyone seems to have hated this guy.
Which is often the case with powerful, ruthless people, isn't it?
Seems so.
Mm-hmm.
At dinner that night, Fletch is already stirring the pot. He jokingly accuses this big reporter, Robert McConnell.
Why him?
Apparently, March had financially and emotionally ruined him years ago by mistakenly endorsing the wrong political candidate in a race McConnell was involved in.
Mistakenly. Right. Sounds like March just flexing his power again.
Probably.
Yeah.
And this story just highlights how March used his influence, right, to make or break people. We hear more examples, too. Oscar Perlman, a humorist.
Mm-hmm.
March tried to control his column, even sued him. Perlman says March kept more private eyes on his payroll than he had reporters.
Wow. For blackmail.
Seems like it. Perlman said March was constantly hounding him, trying to force his column into March's papers. It shows this pattern of control through intimidation and surveillance.
So March wasn't just a publisher. He was running his own little intelligence operation.
Looks like it.
Huh.
Then there's Raleigh Wisham, network features guy. March was apparently trying to ruin his career, too.
Yeah.
Called his work sloppy, sentimental advocacy journalism.
Another enemy.
A big one. Wisham tells this awful story about how March used his PIs to dig up dirt, which led to Wisham's father's newspaper loans being called in, drove the father to suicide.
Jesus. That's heavy. Strong motive right there.
Extremely strong. And Wisham apparently doesn't have a great alibi for the time of the murder either.
Wisham's quote is pretty telling, isn't it? Everyone loved Walter March except anyone who ever had anything to do with him.
Yeah, that sums it up brutally. It just shatters that public image March had.
It does. This benevolent, retiring president on the surface, but underneath, a trail of destruction.
We also hear from Eleanor Earls. She's famous because March rescued her from a jail in Albania years ago.
Oh, right. So she defends him.
Calls him saintly. But then Raleigh Wisham jumps in, challenges her, Suggests March had, ulterior motives for that rescue, maybe blackmail related, not so saintly after all.
That contrast again, public heroics masking private manipulation. It's a constant theme. Powerful people crafting narratives.
Exactly. So Fletch has all this swirling around. He's got the bugs listening in. He's done these interviews. He starts putting the pieces together.
Then he goes after the wife, Lydia.
Yep. Confronts her in her suite.
Yeah.
And he uses her own words against her. Plays back her tape-recorded interview with the police captain, Captain Neal.
Woo, clever, pointing out the holes.
Pointing out the multiple inconsistencies. Like her story about hearing gurgling. First, she said it came from the bathroom. Then she told Neal it was just the tub drain.
Details matter, especially when they change.
And Fletch knows the suite layout now. He points out the bathroom's position. It would actually prevent her from hearing sounds from the living room where March died. Her story doesn't hold up physically.
He's using observation, logic, and her own recording. Methodical.
Totally. He also says, look, March and his son Junior were newspapermen. If they were talking before the murder, they'd necessarily have been talking about headlines news. She claimed she heard nothing specific.
Undermining her credibility piece by piece.
And he just lays it out. The simple truth is that there were two of you in a suite, door locked, and one of you was stabbed.
Cuts right through it.
He tells her the attempts to frame Oscar Perlman failed. Perlman had a solid alibi playing poker. The timing she suggested for March's death was impossible based on other witnesses. And crucially, her son Junior made some kind of mistake, something Fletch must have overheard on the bugs.
So why? Why frame Perlman? Why the elaborate lie?
Fletch figures it out. She was protecting Junior. Especially because, and this is another bombshell Fletch drops,
There's more.
Walter March had another son, an illegitimate one. Joseph Molinaro, his mother, Eleanor Earless.
The woman he rescued from Albania. Wow, okay. So Lydia knew about this other son.
Fletch implies she did, and it was part of her motive to protect her own son's inheritance or standing, maybe. He tells her straight, you're killing your son with this cover-up.
And her reaction.
Silence. Complete silence during the whole confrontation. She knows she's caught.
That silence speaks volumes. Defeat.
So Fletch leaves to get Captain Neal, tell him about Lydia. But as he does, chaos outside.
What now?
Walter March Jr. The son Lydia was protecting, he's just been shot dead. Right there at the convention to the vice president's arrival.
What? Another murder? This family.
It just keeps escalating.
So the assumption that March Sr.'s murder was, a single event tied to his enemies, that's out the window. This is something deeper within the family itself.
Seems like it. So Fletch immediately shifts gears. He needs to find this other son, Joseph Molinaro, the illegitimate one, the horse person the masseuse mentioned.
The description fits. The curly hair, the eyes, maybe.
Must have. Fletch tracks him down, finds him standing over some guy he just knocked unconscious.
Whoa! What happened there?
Turns out the unconscious guy, Frank Gillis, just a travel writer, flicked a cigarette at Molinaro. So Molinaro decked him.
Okay, so Molinaro has a temper.
And a lot of resentment. He's 28, hated his father, Walter March, for years, apparently tried to meet him many times, always got shut down. He came to the convention hoping to finally make contact.
And instead, his father's dead and his half-brother, too. This reveals so much about March's secret life, the ripple effects. This hidden son filled with anger.
Yeah, and Fletch puts it together fast. He figures Molinaro must have killed Junior. Maybe out of rage, jealousy, who knows.
So Fletch confronts him.
Captures him, basically. Takes him and the rifle used to shoot Junior, straight to Captain Neal. Ties up that loose end.
Wow. Fletch isn't just finding the truth. He's practically solving the crimes himself.
Pretty much. But there's one more tragedy.
Oh, no.
Captain Neal tells Fletch that Lydia March, the wife, she's dead, too. Suicide. Overdose.
Lydia's dead. After Fletch confronted her?
Yeah. She left a note. Confessed to killing her husband, Walter March.
And her motive in the note.
This is the kicker. She claims she stole the scissors from the reception desk because she felt the flowers in their suite were inadequate.
Inadequate flowers? That's the reason she gives for murder.
That's what the note said. It's so mundane, so trivial compared to the reality of the other son protecting Junior, all that hidden drama. It almost feels like a final, desperate misdirection.
Or maybe just encapsulating the sheer absurdity and tragedy of it all. Wow.
So the March family saga is over. Fletch is ready to leave. But then
the CIA guys come back.
Gibbs and Englehart. They confront him again. Only this time, the masks are off.
They admit it.
They admit everything. They're not CIA. They're not U.S. citizens. They're foreign agents.
Foreign agents? So the whole thing was a setup.
Exactly. They set Fletch up specifically to gather blackmail material on the American press, using his skills against his own colleagues.
That is the ultimate twist, pulling the rug out from the entire premise. But did Fletch suspect?
He says he had an inkling right from the start. He mentioned small things, like Fabin smoking a stinky cigar.
A cigar.
Yeah, Fletch deduced it was, like Romanian, Albanian, Bulgarian. Not something a typical CIA guy would smoke, maybe. Also, the timing of that initial IRS pressure felt off to him.
Little details. His intuition was pinging.
Right. And he tells him why he went along with it anyway. 1, he's nosy. 2, he thought maybe there was a story in it for him.
And 3?
And 3, most importantly, didn't want to go to jail
Yeah.
over those tax issues they dangled over him.
Practical self-preservation again. But Fletch always has an ace up his sleeve, doesn't he?
Always. He tells them, guess what? The tapes he collected from the bugs, he didn't give them the original.
No, what did he do?
He mailed them, somewhere safe, presumably, and then he plays a tape for them.
Oh, this is good. What's on it?
It's a copy of their conversation, bugged. From Suite 3, Walter March's murder suite, which they apparently used after the body was removed.
He bugged the blackmailers.
Looks like it. The tape details their drunken sex orgy, mentions cocaine use, and has them explicitly admitting they were posing, living like journalists.
He caught them red-handed, with their own words.
He turns the tables completely. Blackmails the blackmailers with their own behavior.
That is magnificent, using their own tactics against them. It's the ultimate Fletch move. Information as the great equalizer, or in this case, the great weapon, turned back on its wielder.
Totally. So with all that settled, Fletch makes sure things land right, in his own way. He connects his old colleague, Crystal Fione.
The one March fired?
Yeah. He connects her with his old city editor, Jack Saunders, gives Crystal the whole exclusive scoop. Lydia's confession, Junior's murder by Molinaro's capture.
He hands her a career-making story.
Absolutely.
Yeah.
She lands a job at the Boston Star because of it.
That shows his loyalty, doesn't it? He uses the information not just to save himself, but to help a friend who was wronged by the system by March.
Exactly. He's the chaos agent, but sometimes for good. And then there's one final kind of funny twist.
After all that, go on.
Crystal is talking on the phone to Jack Saunders, the editor. And she just casually mentions Freddie Arbuthnot.
The reporter Fletch met on the plane, the one with the same last name he used.
That's her. Crystal reveals Freddie isn't just some reporter. She's like a highly acclaimed, award-winning journalist. Really well known.
And Fletch didn't know.
Apparently not. He's totally flabbergasted. Realizes he never left her up. Just assumed she was. Well, who knows what he assumed.
Ha! That's brilliant. Even the master investigator, the guy who notices everything, missed the credentials of the woman sitting right next to him.
Right. Maybe he was too busy proposing marriage.
It's a great little reminder, isn't it? Even the sharpest people have blind spots, especially when maybe personal stuff or just assumptions get in the way.
So true. So, thinking about this whole wild ride, what does it all mean for you, listening in? We've seen Fletch, this total outsider, navigate this world crammed with power players, hidden agendas, dark family secrets.
All while dodging foreign spies and the IRS.
Yeah. He showed us that in this game of information, things like intuition, thinking outside the box, knowing how to use data, sometimes even data you weren't supposed to have, can uncover some really shocking truths.
And this deep dive using Fletch's story, it really lays bare how information shapes everything. You know, whether it's leaked strategically or hidden carefully or just accidentally revealed, it's always shifting the ground beneath our feet.
Right, like Walter March's whole empire, built on controlling information, manipulating narratives.
But in the end, it was the truth he couldn't control that brought it all crashing down. The secrets he kept, the enemies he made, it all came out.
It's a really powerful reminder, isn't it? That even when people try so hard to operate in the shadows, the truth often finds a way out. Maybe messy, maybe convoluted, like here. But it gets there. And it makes you wonder, maybe, what subtle cues or inklings, like Fletch had, might you be overlooking in the information you encounter every day?
Yeah, and what hidden dynamics, what power plays might be happening just below the surface of the stories you're told? Are you seeing the full picture?
Definitely something to mull over until our next deep dive.